Welcome back to another week of Wasteland Survivor Hotline, where I answer all your survival questions and also try to hold together some semblance of hope for the human ability to survive. So, anyway, today, Jace will not be with us. I sent him off on a special little secret mission. So it'll just be me reading the questions and then trying to answer them. But we're doing a little bit of a different format. We're going to have one letter that was sent to us that I'm going to read, and then I will give my observation and advice. And then we have some smaller ones. So let's get started. Our first submission is a letter. Let's see, it's from Dusty, and subject is training my giant mutant cockroach. Urgent-ish. I can already tell I'm too sober for this. Okay. Dear Survivor Hotline, my name is Dusty. Not my birth name, but some guys nicknamed me after I fell in a sandpit and no one helped. I'm writing because I recently befriended might be a strong word. I acquired a giant mutant cockroach that's been hanging around my camp. He's about the size of a medium dog, maybe a large toddler if the toddler had too many legs. He keeps following me, and yesterday he dragged out one of my boots into his little nest under the collapsed billboard. I think that means he likes me. Okay. Anyway, I was wondering, how can I train him to guard my supplies? I tried giving him a treat, a piece of jerky I found on the ground, but he just stared at me with all of his eyes and clicked a bunch. I don't speak cockroach, who does? So I'm not sure if that was good or bad. Also, he keeps trying to sit in my lap. Should I let him? Is he trying to cuddle me? Or is that a dominance thing? I don't want to send the wrong message. Please respond soon. He's currently blocking the entrance to my shelter, and I don't know if he's guarding it or trying to trap me inside. Sincerely, Dusty, Sector 71, near the big rock that looks like a sad potato. Okay, Dusty. I'm going to start by saying something I never thought I would actually say, ever. You cannot train a giant mutant cockroach. Not to guard your supplies. Can't teach it to fetch. It's not going to sit when you command it. And you definitely should not let it sit on you. They don't do commands. They don't do loyalty. They don't cuddle. They barely have thoughts that we know of. What you've got there isn't a pet. It's a six-legged opportunist with the emotional range of a damp sponge and the appetite of a zombie. A few things you need to understand before this situation gets any worse. If it dragged your boot into its nest, that wasn't affection. It wasn't trying to get a token of, your undying love and loyalty. It was stealing it. If it's blocking your shelter entrance, that's not guarding. It's setting a trap. Or it's claimed the territory for itself. And if it's trying to sit on your lap, that's not cuddling or bonding. It's trying to determine whether you should be its next meal. The mutant cockroach doesn't like you. It's tolerating you until you stop being useful, interesting, or edible, usually in that order. If you want your supplies protected, here are your actual options. Move them somewhere the cockroach can't reach. But, probably they can climb walls and ceilings, so that's probably not going to work. Bribe it with something it likes more than you. Probably not going to work either because it's looking at you like dinner. Or relocate yourself before your bones become part of its nest decor. And Dusty, if you're hearing clicking, that's not communication. That's the sound of it trying to decide what to do next. So stay safe out there. And please, please, for the love of anything and everything, people, stop trying to domesticate the mutant wildlife. We barely survived the first apocalypse. We don't need you starting a second one. Good luck, Dusty. Okay. Now for some questions that came in. A stranger keeps leaving beans outside my bunker. Is this courtship or a threat? Well, in the Wasteland, those are the same thing. Someone leaving beans for you either wants to impress you, recruit you, or lure you into a trap. Possibly all three. My advice, leave the beans where they are and pretend you never saw them. Romance is dead. Don't join it. Next question. My neighbor says their bunker is haunted. Should I offer to help or mind my business? Mind your business. If their bunker is haunted, you don't want to be involved. If it's not haunted, they're the problem. They probably drank some of that weird-ass mysterious liquid, and now they're hearing things. You just don't want to be involved in that. Either way, just stay off to yourself. The Wasteland has enough ghosts without you adding social obligations to the mix. Okay. If a creature is glowing, does that mean it's friendly? Absolutely not. For the umpteenth time. Glowing means danger, radioactive, or run. Usually all three. Nothing in the Wasteland glows because it's happy to see you. If it's emitting light, it's either unstable, poisonous, or about to explode. Stop approaching things that are shiny. You are not a moth. Okay. How do I tell if a bunker is abandoned or just poorly maintained? If you have to ask, it's probably occupied. Abandoned bunkers usually won't make a noise, smell weird, or have fresh footprints outside. They also don't have half-eaten food, recently moved debris, or a suspiciously warm doorknob. If the place looks like a disaster, but the disaster seems current, walk away. Poor maintenance is a lifestyle choice these days. Abandonment is a vibe, and if you get the vibe wrong, you've just broken into someone's home, and Wasteland hospitality is not known for forgiveness. Okay, last question. Can you tell me where to order pizza delivery? No. I cannot tell you where to order pizza. Because unfortunately, pizza doesn't exist anymore. Delivery doesn't exist anymore. The last delivery driver died 15 years ago trying to protect a stuffed crust pizza with his body from the radioactive fallout. And also, this is a survival hotline, not a food service. And even if it were, the Wasteland is fresh out of mozzarella, functioning ovens, and people willing to risk their lives to bring you dinner. Eat whatever isn't glowing and move on. No pizza. Sorry. Okay. That's all we have for today. We'll be back sometime next week with more ridiculous questions. I mean, your survival concerns and my cheerful advice. Okay, take care and keep surviving. Oh, boy, do I need a drink.